Thank you guys for joining the Process Life. My name is Marshall, and this is
The Deacon Dr. V is in the house.
yesterday we went and got hubby a new pickup truck. But there's a story behind it that goes deeper than just him getting the truck. Although it's a truck in the natural, I want you guys to think spiritually when we're talking about this situation and this testimony. Because so many people feel like their disobedience, their lack of not knowing, lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom, timing, the fight of the enemy, the attacks of the enemy, all this is going to delay God's blessing and purpose for your life. No, 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 no. That is not the case. That's why we always say that you always hear delayed but not denied. Okay. And so many of us have been discouraged because we feel like we messed up. We missed the mark. We disobeyed God. So therefore, XYZ. And that's not necessarily the truth. Because God's will is going to be done with or without you, voluntarily or involuntarily. It's up to you and it's up to God. But sometimes we don't always get it right. Why? Because we're imperfect people in these vessels. We're going to always, most of the time, miss the mark. Why? Because we want what we want, when we want it, and how we want it all the time. And God's will sometimes is a waiting process. It takes patience. It takes endurance. It takes, Lord, have mercy. We want what we want right now. We like that instant gratification, not understanding that God knows us better than we know ourselves, but this flesh can get in the way. And even though the flesh may get in the way, and even though you may be disobedient, that was all part of the plan anyway. I know you like God. He knew you was going to disobey. He knew you was going to miss the mark.
Yep.
He's not surprised why he created you. And he knows who his children best. Yep, I'm going to present the blessing. Yep, they're going to deny it. Yep, I'm going to give them opportunity. Yep, they're not going to take it. Yes, I'm going to open the door. They're not going to walk in. Fear, preference, selfishness, instant gratification, influences, all of this stuff he already knew was going to hinder what he wanted for you right then. Ask the Israelites. They kept going around. Took them 40 years to get where God wanted them to go. The promised land. All they had to do was obey. They did not. Was God surprised? No. First natural, then spiritual. I need y'all to please listen because it's you're going to be able to relate spiritually, naturally, on your job, what you're waiting for in relationships, all the above, based on this little truck situation. All right? Love y'all. Go ahead, babe.
Well, let me start by saying
Let me go get my popcorn.
thank you very much for being here. No, I mean, okay, so in 2004, that's when my mom and my dad passed away the same year, but my mom had passed first before my dad. Because my dad always loved pickup trucks. Always, he had a GMC back in the 1980s. He had a GMC Sierra. It was blue, pretty blue. So then it came to a point where he was able to afford another blue truck, as years went on. And when he purchased the truck, he paid cash for the truck. But me, I never liked pickup trucks. And maybe because how the way he kept the pickup truck, he never kept the pickup truck up. You know what I mean? He was always smelling like cigarettes and liquor and beer. You know what I'm saying? It's always had a stench to it. Well, when he passed away, I had the pickup truck and he had like 8,000 miles on the truck. The pickup truck was given to me in the will. I didn't like the pickup truck. It was a cool pickup truck, nice pickup truck, but I just didn't like it. This just wasn't my thing. I was still into the Mercedes and the BMWs and, trying to get a sports car and all that stuff like that. So what I did, I took the doggone pickup truck and I traded it in for a BMW. It was a 1998 BMW M3. I remember when I went to that dealership, right? When I asked the guy, I said, hey, what y'all want for that BMW? And the guy was like, well, we want this for the BMW, right? And I think the BMW was like $11,000, $10,000, right? Now the pickup truck, my dad, he paid cash for it, was $28,000. So I went in there and I'm thinking I'm getting a good deal. I just saw the flashiness of that darn BMW. It was black, had the nice little red stripping on and everything, rims on it. The interior was, just nice, right? But the darn thing wasn't worth no more than $8,000. Dummy me go in there thinking that I'm getting a deal off of them versus they getting a deal off of me. That goes to show you when you think you know everything, you don't know nothing. People know more than you, and you doing stupid stuff, and they just laughing behind your back. When I told that man, "Hey man, y'all want to do an even swap?" So the man said, "Even swap?
You don't know what you have valuable."
You don't know what you?" I said, "Yeah, here I am thinking that. Yeah, I'm gonna get y'all right."
He probably laughed at you.
And he couldn't believe that I asked him that. He said, "What year is the pickup truck?" I said, 2004. He said, "How many miles I got on?" I said, 8. So he kept staring at me. He said,
He thought you were playing.
he said, "Well, yeah, if you want to do a swap trade, yeah, we'll do it." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you the pickup truck. You give me the BMW." And you could see both of them looking at each other, right? Here I am thinking that I had it going on, right? But they were basically like,
call you all
this
kind of
dumb, you know what? I know they was calling me all kind of N words in that doggone dealership. I know they was. They couldn't believe this black little, you know.
They talked about you for a
I
long
mean, they
time.
talk me for. They're probably still talking about me today if they still living. So the guy said, "Okay, let me go take it for a test drive." I said, "All right, go ahead." It wasn't nothing wrong with the pickup truck. They took it for a test drive. Come back. I said, "Okay, we got a deal." He went inside the office and told the manager.
They probably laughed.
And the manager did like this. And then,
Let me see this dummy.
and he was like, I don't know what the words he was saying, but I guess it was to the point where it's like, are you serious? He wants to do that? But I didn't know the value of a pickup truck. Had no clue. The guy came out there. We did the paperwork. I got a doggone BMW. I'm like, yeah, I got my BMW now. Yeah, this BMW. Yes, sir. I had that BMW like 6 months. And the reason why is because the BMW started leaking oil around the head. So I said, man, I got to sell this BMW. So I got rid of the BMW, sold that. I said, man, I'm going to get me a Mercedes. So I got me a S500 Mercedes. I paid $12,000 cash for it. Thought I was the bomb. Check this out. Let me show you how stupid I was. Paid $12,000 for the darn Mercedes, kept it for about 2.5 months, put it back on the market to sell it. Listen, paid $12,000 to this guy, posted the Mercedes, and the guy came back and bought the Mercedes from me for $8,000. Did y'all just listen to me? How stupid I was? Didn't know what I was doing. This guy, he looked like, what is going on with this guy? Okay, I got my 8,000. Yeah, but Vito, you just spent 12,000 on a car that wasn't even worth no more than 5,000. And the man came back and brought the car back from you for 8,000. So you lost $4,000. I think I had the Grand Am with that, with the BMW. I mean, sold the BMW, got the Mercedes, got the Grand Am, fixed it up and all of that. And then I kept the Grand Am, y'all, all the way to the time that me and Michelle got married, right? Right, just raggedy, right? Even then, it was still in the back of my mind that I shouldn't have got rid of the pickup truck, but I never would talk about it. Why? Because times that I needed to move some stuff, I had to go rent a U-Haul, but it was still kind of like trickling in my mind, like, man, did I do the right thing?
You remember you got the BMW and the bumper fell off?
Yeah, I got the BMW, y'all, and the bumper fell off. I brought another BMW, and really, actually, the BMW was for her, right?
It was for him.
It was for me, but it was for her, right? Yeah. But I got the BMW, y'all. We were driving, and I went up to a parking bumper. You know, the parking bumper that be on the ground, and hit the parking bumper a little bit, and the whole bumper fell off, right? I backed the car up, got up underneath there and looked and see that they had the bumper tied with tie straps. Up underneath, tie straps where you can't even see it. So it made it look as if the bumper was legit and it was firm on the car. Come to find out the bumper wasn't being held on nothing but by tie strap. I took that car back. I don't know if they remember that video where I hit a deer and it totaled the Audi. When they gave me a rental car, the rental car was a Camaro. So I kind of fell in love with the Camaro within 3 or 4 days. So when they told me that I need to get a car in 72 hours, instead of me buying a car for cash for like $1,500, I quickly went and saw the Camaro and brought the Camaro. Full circle, when I got the Camaro, the first thing Marshall said was, babe, you ain't gonna like that car. You're gonna get rid of that car. You ain't gonna keep that car. I'm like, yes, I am. I like this car. I like the way it vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm like, yeah, ooh, ooh. She said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to get tired of that noise The noise is going to be too. You're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I think I'm good. I think I'll be good with that. Well, that was a year and a half ago. Well,
Long story, not short. We're here today to let you guys know he's back at that same blue pickup truck his daddy left him back in 2004.
I had to really go before God and say, you know what, God? No, I even told her, I said, you know what, babe, you're right. That was a fleshly decision right there. I should have never got that darn Camaro.
Now I understand when God says, no matter what you do, disobedience or not, what you go through is for a reason. You learn a lesson. Because my fear would have been, had he gotten the truck when we felt it was the time he supposed to have gotten the truck versus the Camaro, he wouldn't have been as appreciative for the truck now. Not only that, he would have been still in the back of his mind thinking, oh my God, I should have got a car. I want to get a sports car.
Yeah.
Now that he has experienced the sports car wasn't as good as you thought it was going to be.
The grass is not green on the other side. I'm telling you right now.
A lot of times our preference is not God's purpose,
but it was God's will
for our life.
Yeah.
But it
was necessary.
Yeah. Because now he's happy with the truck. He has gotten this Camaro out of his system. He's gotten this Corvette crap out of his system. We're saying all of that he said. All of that to say. Even though you feel like you may have missed the mark.
You really haven't.
Although you feel like, man, I'd have got this job and I knew God told me not to get this job. The next purposeful job that you get, you're going to be more thankful.
Appreciative.
You're going to be appreciative. You're going to be grateful because you know what it could have been and where you have come from. And it's out of your system. So God knows his children better than we know ourselves. He knew Vito needed to experience this junky car that he thought that he really wanted. Just like these crazy relationships we get in. We really thought we wanted to be with him.
Can I also say this while you're doing that? In the midst of that time that I got rid of the truck, I used to, like, every now and then I would hear somebody say, you need a pickup truck.
So he was getting confirmations along the way. Like,
that was years.
And I remember when he got the Camaro, God was like, don't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. I let him go ahead. God was like, don't say nothing.
I thought I would have fun.
Let him do what he want to do. Don't even give him no feedback. Just go with the flow. Okay. And he really, only thing I said was, you're not going to want this car. You're going to want something else. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yeah. But it comes back in full circle.
Right.
What God has for you is for you. And I know people say that's like a cliche, but it's the truth when you have experienced it. Even when you're with the person that you knew God wasn't supposed to be with, guess what? The person that God has for you is for you. But you have to learn something first, because if he sends that person in the state that you're in now and you're unprepared, you're not going to treat it right.
Nope.
So he has to give you certain things that you have to go through so that when he blesses you, you know how to take care of it. You know how to be grateful.
Yeah.
You know how to be appreciative.
Yeah.
You're going to be content, not continually wanting something, not continually, I wonder how I'll be if I'm there, if I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's life. If you could think about any subject in life, I want y'all to comment in the comments, what is it that you've done and you thought you missed the mark, but it came back in full circle? I don't care how big or small it is, because it's still a lesson learned. I don't care if it was school, a job, a business, relationship, having children, a marriage. Sometimes you get that marriage and you get a divorce. You're like, God, I know you didn't tell me to marry that joker. Married him anyway. Now I got to suffer the consequences. And then God blessed you with the one that you're supposed to be with. And now you're with that person. You treat them right, grateful to God, because you know how I used to be. So a lot of this stuff, we're telling you, you didn't miss it. It may be delayed, but you keep waiting and stay encouraged.